that we're talking about is roads. How are we going to fund roads and bridges? You know, we had last year several bridges that caved in, and the safety aspect of travel. We are looking at alcoholism as a problem. Well, we say alcoholism. We're talking about drug abuse.
Drug and substance abuse.
Drug and substance abuse. I think you know, as most all of us do across the state of Tennessee, that drugs has inundated our communities across the state. Not metropolis like metropolitan government, but small cities. You know, cities like Jackson, Tennessee, very, very small cities. We are looking at what happens to the monies that are designated to curb drug abuse, in any fashion, drug or substance abuse. We're looking at when a mentally ill person should be released on the street. What we're going to do about our homeless.
Homeless situation, that is a real...
They're always with us, and there are those of us who think we have the answer, but I think we are unwilling sometimes to look for solutions. Part of our homeless problems are because people are mentally ill and they go untreated. We have looked for shelters for them, but how communities say, help the homeless, but don't put them in my community.
Don't help them over here.
That's exactly right. And we're facing where we're going to house them. We're facing what's going to happen to our elderly, how we're going to feed our elderly, how we're going to pay utility bills. And I think, you know, all of our utilities are escalating. Even taking the tax off food doesn't remedy how unemployed people will pay their utilities.
Now, how would that work? Does it mean that there will be, you might not know the complete arrangements of it, does it mean that there will be absolutely no tax at all on food?
There'll be no
And how will
tax. There'll be absolutely no tax on food. There's no tax on medicine now, but there will be no tax on food. There will be the state sales tax, I think, will drop from 5.5% to 4%. I'm doing this from memory based on the package, and there'll be studies on what is exactly is in the package. But that one I think was the most far-fetching one, that we remove the tax from food. But I think when we take tax off food, the revenue that is generated, we have to look at how we're going to make it up on something else. The other one was the Hall's income tax, that on dividends, that would be reduced or eliminated completely. And there was another proposal in the education package to provide to teachers a petty cash fund of $200 to do with whatever they choose. And one other proposal was to add 1 day to the school year.
Well, now, taken together, the governor's tax plan and his education plan, they sort of complement each other, do they not?
Yes.
Which is to say that the purpose of the tax plan, while not solely for education, that education plays a very, very important part in it.
That education would benefit from the tax plan, and I think even when it was presented, there were still some areas in there that needed to be cleared up. We have talked among ourselves about the possibility of that tax plan passing, and each one of us have ideas, but I think we'll wait to digest it and then carry it to the community. And then if it doesn't pass, then what happens? Where do we go from here? That's the other issue. And most of us are waiting to see where we'll go.
Yeah, I think that sort of follows natural as a question, which is to say that if you've tied both these plans together in an intimate sort of way, which they are, then what happens if for some reason the tax plan is unsuccessful? I mean, do you have a...
Well, even the finance director, David Mannings, told us that even with the new tax proposal, that there would be 846 jobs eliminated.
And so the state government is going to eliminate some jobs.
Going to eliminate some jobs, and that could be equated to, if it does pass, that many jobs will be eliminated. If it doesn't pass, how many other jobs will be eliminated? And then there's always the issue of pay raises. You know, our employees, our state employees, they're diligent workers, and many of them have worked loyally for several